Hello there, in this tutorial we're going to discuss about URL authentication. So URL authentication in IIS is is a restriction where a particular user, a group, and groups of users can access IIS web server. It means that you just cancel out the anonymous authentication, you just cancel out the anonymous access of IIS web server, and with URL authentication a particular user, a particular group, a particular groups can able to access the website. Now before that, before URL authentication, we used to have ACL. We need to configure ACL to make sure of giving authentication. Now currently in domain, I create accounts name group. In account names, actually account names OU, and in account name OU I have created sales group. Now in sales group you have a couple of users. In sales group I have one user Anirudh, and in accounts OU I have a couple of users, test user 1 and test user 2. Now we just need to create, we first need to install URL authentication. Hence we have to check that your authentication, and you will find the description too about your authentication more. Now there is more options are there, which is Windows Authentication, Digest Authentication. Now we already do Windows Authentication, is very similar. Digest Authentication is also very much similar, but Windows Authentication were best suited for the intranet environment, and Digest Authentication is best suited for the extranet environment. It means any user from internet can access your web server. If you provided a particular user access, then Digest Authentication will work properly and more convincingly. So I'm just next, and I'm going to install. It will take some time, so we are pausing our video. Okay, so your authentication, the roles install. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give a permission to a particular user and group to have access of the particular website. I'm going to authentication rules. Now we already created rules like Windows authentication, basic authentication, and we already installed that. We already have those authentication before. Now here in the authentication rules, you can see that anonymous user can have access of the website. Now here in the URL authentication, we're going to give a authorization to particular user or a particular group. For example, I'm giving access to sales, and the sales group means whatever whosoever the member of the sales group will have the access of the website, of the web page, and others will not. So you can see that particular group sales have a access, and other users from accounts or you will not have. Now let me show you whether the things work not or not. So I'm just logging with test user 1. No, it's not working. Let me check with another user, which is for example, it's test user 2. Still I'm failed to have access of the web page. Now let me have another username. Let's see whether I'm able to access the web page or not. Yes, I am. because Anirudh is a user of sales group and other users of accounts OU will not have access. That's the reason they're not able to access the web page, but Android user able to access the page because I gave the permission to the particular user. You can check once again whether the particular other user were able to have access or not. They're not, because we didn't allow test user 1 to have access. But once we log in with another username, then I'm able to. And this is what URL authentication is, that the particular authorization, you are putting that particular authorization into the URL, so you no need to request to configure ACL to save our database.